The number one anchor woman on WSB television, Monica Kaufman, black woman who was a 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. anchor woman. And if you know anything about television broadcasting, when you're at the 6 p.m. and 11 p.m., what did I say? 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. Newscast, you are the one at that station. And Monica was the one for years and years and years until she finally retired. But I remember one day I was walking through the hall. The WSV radio and television stations were in the same building at the time. And I was walking through the hall one day, and Monica came past me. And, the usual, hey, Monica, hey, Mike. And as I walked past her, she turned towards me and she said, hey, you got a second? I said, yeah. She said, funny thing happened. She said, I was at church the other Sunday, and one of the members of the church came up to me and said that she was very pleased to hear that WSB had hired this black man to have a talk show host. And Monica said, I didn't know who she meant. And I said to my friend, what black man? She said, Mike Malloy. Well, that cracked us both up. We stood there in the hallway and both of us had to laugh. So, that came from what I was talking about at the time. About race relations. About mine and yours, my white brothers and sisters, your black cousins. You can't get away from it. And I know most people listen to this podcast don't even try to get away from it. It is what it is. We are one family. Now, I know the white pigs don't want anything to do with this. And by pigs, I mean the ones that run around with their goddamn little phony-ass military uniforms on, talking about, we're going to overthrow the communists, whatever the hell they say these days. Who knows? And while those people get most of the media attention, just like a horrible smash up on the highway will get media attention, a huge apartment house burning will get media attention. By media, I'm talking about television. And these racist bastards who run around and attack the seat of government in this country, and they're going to get the cameras on them. But they're not the majority. They really aren't. I understand fully that racism is so deeply embedded in this country that most white people in this country are racist. There's no way we could have avoided it. I've gone over this and over this and over this over the years I've been in broadcast. And it's not a condemnation of white folks. It is definitely a condemnation of the system that created us, created me, created you, my white brother and sister, and made us believe this bullshit and made us participate in the bullshit. That's the bad part. That's the bad part. But we have a new generation out here, and thank God my 16-year-old daughter, almost 17, is part of that new generation. And she and her contemporaries across the country are not going to put up with this bullshit any longer. They are not, and they're making this clear. I remember last summer when Molly and I participated in several demonstrations here in Atlanta with the Black Lives Matter movement. And what blew my shit away, and I think I mentioned this before, back during the summer when this was happening, the lack of older white people. There were thousands of white people around us in these marches, and thousands of black folk, but the thousands of white people, and they were, say, from, I'm just guessing now, but from 45 years of age down to teenagers. And here is my ancient white ass limping along in these demonstrations, with Molly, with my mask on. Yeah, we wore our masks. I'm saying shit like, Molly, wait up. Come on, Daddy. Wait, it's going too fast. Wait a minute. Pause for a sip of coffee. But I remember thinking at the time, and I think I mentioned it on whatever podcast or Sirius XM, wherever it was, I guess it was just podcast last summer. And I mentioned the fact that I just didn't see that many middle-aged or older white people. And that was a goddamn shame, because if anybody should be part of this Black liberation movement, if anybody should be part of that, it should be older white people. You know why? Because we have seen it. We have lived it. We have borne witness to it. Some of us remember the photographs, I guess it was on the front of the Chicago Sun-Times or maybe the Chicago Tribune, of Emmett Till's open casket and his face looking like somebody had beat the fuck out of him with hammers and just horrible. Yeah, I remember that. And the reason I remember it is because that picture was picked up by the Associated Press and carried on newspapers all over the country. And at the time, I was a newspaper boy in Toledo, delivering a morning paper. I got to see that picture at 5:30 in the morning, whatever day it was. But we've seen it. We older white people, we know what happened when Bobby Kennedy had to announce after a political rally that Martin Luther King Jr. had been shot to death in Memphis. We saw what happened with the riots in L.A. after Rodney King. The people who beat the fuck out of him were declared not guilty. I mean, we older white people have seen all of this shit. We've seen it all. So, and we've lived it. And I'm not putting guilt out here, but we participated in it. So why aren't we older white people, to a far greater degree? I'm not saying no older white people participated in the Black liberation movement as it exists today. I don't want to come across as saying that. But the numbers are not there. Where the fuck are we? Where are my 65-year-old and up white brothers and sisters? And don't give me this shit like, oh, well, my legs hurt or my back hurts or I can't walk. Fuck that. I did it. You can do it. Okay, now be careful, Mike. Be careful, Mike. So, it might be a good thing, though, the next peaceful demonstration that we hear about, that we white people just, put on our support hose if that's what we need. Put on those New Balance sneakers that your granddaughter got for you at Christmas, right? And get your ass out there and let the world know that while you and I, my older white brother and sister, may be stepping off this mortal coil in the not too distant future, we've got to leave something behind that says what Dr. Saxman is talking about here, that there is hope. This was an important moment with the conviction of this racist son of a bitch, Chauvin. We've got to leave something behind. I mean, a lot of people in the baby boom generation, which I'm not a part of, but a lot of people in the baby boom generation have a lot of shit thrown on them. Like, what have you people done? You fucked up the planet. You caused global warming. That's not true, but that's what a lot of white and black young people say about this generation, the baby boom generation. Where were you people? Look what you have left us. Not just environmental shit, but racial stuff and global troubles with this country or that country, the other country, all the shit that we supported. I'm going to put myself in the baby boom just for this moment. But all the shit that we supported, whether it was Vietnam or Guatemala or the Middle East. So before you and I, my older white brother and or sister, step off this planet and enter into infinity, maybe we should make damn sure that we have left a marker back here that says, okay, I got out and marched and demonstrated in favor of black liberation. I was part of it. I did it. What do you think? You know, if you're not going to bear witness, if you're going to just maintain, I'm not talking about you, gentle listener, please, I'm speaking generically. But if we white folk are not, let me put it that way, if we're not going to bear witness, if we're not going to stand up and say, this is what I saw, this is what I participated in, this is what my ignorance led me to do. But my ignorance now has fallen off my eyes like scales coming off my eyes, and I can fucking see. I see it now. I see it. And I want to leave some kind of a mark on that path to black liberation that says, well, I was here. I'm a white man, white woman, white person. I was here. I marched this march. I didn't talk the talk. I got my ass out here and walked the walk. I was here. I helped. That's all. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.